This video is to show all the schools I went to when I moved in Oregon way back in 2000. So right now, I'm within the vicinity of where I grew up. And in 2000, I was in second grade when I moved to Oregon. I was born in Riverside, California. Spent the first 10 years of my life there. And my father got another job in the Silicon Forest, and that's why we moved here. I went to Beaverton School District, and the first school that I went to was called Rock Creek Elementary. And the mascot was the Rockets. I think the reason being is that the school was built in the 50s or 60s, so tied to the space race, I guess we wanted to be more patriotic and show how we were going to beat the Russians, which we did with landing on the moon, but before that, Russia kind of did everything else first. But this is West Union. It's kind of the go-to grounds of where all my major places of education were until I went to a 4-year university. But right now, I'm going to head over right. And the great thing is that my 2 of the 4 places I went are actually right next to each other. So this is 185th, which you probably know best of where, this is the exit where you go for the Streets of Tanasbourne. And that's about it. To the right of me right now, that's the duck pond. That's where I used to spend a lot of my time exploring, having a good time. Played with my dog there. Played frisbee. This is right next to a golf course, so that's where a lot of people went to for that. But as we approach, you're about to see my 2 schools. My first place of education in Oregon, and my third place? Yeah, so to the right of me is Rock Creek Elementary. To the left is my high school, Westview. So I'm going to go ahead and just stop on in to Rock Creek. So this was my first school that I went to when I moved up here. As you can see, it's empty, of course, given our physical distancing that we're required to do. But my first year was in a portable. That was in second grade, and then every other year I was on the south side of the building. But yeah, that's my elementary school. Now, I'll show you my high school. Here's my high school. Nothing special. Use this. This is where I wanted to become a teacher, though. I had a sophomore English teacher. It's ironic, I know, given that I teach English. But his name was David Furman, and he was the guy that motivated me to want to go into education. Originally, I wanted to be a social studies teacher, but I'm dual endorsed, and I think it's kind of ironic now that I teach sophomore English now. And his classroom was the second to last building right there. And he's one of a handful of people that really inspired me to go into education. Super empathetic. Worked his tail off for all of his classes, and to this day, I aspire to be an educator near his level. I believe right now he is in the administration for another high school. He's either principal or vice principal for Beaverton School District. But that is him. And that's Westview. That was my high school. And now I'm going to go over to my first college I went to, which was Portland Community College, Rock Creek campus. I did my first 2 years there, mainly because of how close it was to where I was able to go. It was also significantly cheaper. I was too old. The 2 years free program didn't exist yet, but even so, PCC was at least half as cheap as any other state school for me. And the other added benefit is that it was really close to where I lived. I was able to, I didn't have a car at the time, but I was able to have either get a ride or take public transit there for the first year before I got my first car. A lot has changed though. When I went there, they didn't have any solar panels, and now given that Solar World, their American headquarters, is about 4 miles away from here, they had a really good deal with their contract. But I'm just going there first because it's closer than my middle school was. But this is all new. This used to be one lane, but now, given the expansion of the new apartments over yonder and new homes, this is new as well. This traffic light is new. I didn't have this, so especially during the morning courses when everyone's trying to get to work, man, was it exciting waiting here forever, waiting for oncoming traffic to create a gap so that I was able to move into the class. This is totally new. Did not expect a whole new light. They also built a whole new park system here. Those are the solar panels right there that I didn't get to see. If you want to go into diesel mechanic internships, Pape. No, that's Mount Hood Community College. This is Peterson Cat. They have scholarships available, and Peterson Cat will pay for your training, and the only caveat is that you have to work for them for 3 years, which, given our current state of the economy, it's pretty awesome that you're guaranteed to have a job for 3 years. Oh, they blocked off the parking. That makes sense. But this is my community college that I went to. Oh, shoot. Which I really appreciate and enjoy. Asphalt new construction. But what I like so much about Portland Community College, much like TBCC, is that an A is an A. So if you get a 90.1%, that's a 4.0. When you go to other universities, Portland State, I believe you have to have a 93 to get a 4.0. And for my master's program, I had to have a 96 or higher for a 4.0. And also, the professors that I had, they weren't trying to get published as much, and as a result, their main focus were the classes themselves. And some of the best classes I ever had in college was from the community college. it was awesome. This would be about an hour commute for you if you went here. But the benefit now especially is that if you want to go and become a diesel mechanic, this is the closest place that's going to pay for your way. But it's pretty awesome. And finally, the last thing I'm going to show today is my middle school, which was Stoller Middle School. I was, 4.5 miles away. I took the bus there, which was nice, but the other cool thing is that if I ever slept in and missed my bus, I was able to walk. To the right of me right now is an awesome trail that just goes straight to the middle school, which is great. To the left are all new parks that were put in the last 5 years. It's really awesome to have now. A lot of baseball diamonds there and tennis courts. Because further up here is all new neighborhood with construction because they changed the urban growth boundary. When I was in college even, to the left of me here was not allowed to be built for homes. It was part of the urban growth boundary. And now it's pretty filled up. In fact, I think there's a whole new middle school there. It's like a mile away from my middle school. Let's see. I'm behind this bus, which is great. The other nice thing is that TriMet, for my educational purposes, when I went to community college, it went straight there. And when I went to Portland State, I was able to go down 185th and just get the max there. The max basically just dropped you off at Portland State. I like Portland State because I have no school spirit, and it's awesome because it was basically a bigger community college for me. I had to work 32 hours a week, and I worked in downtown Portland, southeast Portland, and it was right there. Same thing with my master's program. I had a car at the time, but that was only 6 miles away from my work, and that sounds great, but during rush hour traffic, those 6 miles took 40 minutes to get there. So if you ever decide to go to a university, make sure that you look at commute times. Portland State was 12 miles away from my house. On a good day, it was only like a 20-minute drive. It was awesome. Hey, what's up? Woo! Those are dope scramblers. But when there was traffic, it could have been anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. This is weird going down memory lane. I remember doing this all the time. Yeah, so there's a traffic stop right here, which is going to show the trail that I was talking about. And yeah, it goes all the way to Stoller. And if you walk there, it goes all the way to basically where I used to live. It was pretty nice and convenient, especially if I ever had to stay after for a school project. 8th grade was not a good year for me. My worst academic year by far. And the only thing I really put effort in were my projects. So I believe, for some of my classes, I turned in 25 to 30 missing assignments the last day of school. So, yeah, I can totally empathize not wanting to do work. However, that made me go very far behind in high school. I actually had to retake courses that I shouldn't have had to do if I just put in the effort in middle school. But this is... what is the road? Laidlaw. Man, this was an interesting time for me. Basically, heart of the suburbs. If you have a family member that either works for Intel or Nike, it felt like that was like where a lot of people worked, kind of like the Creamery in Tillamook. And wow, sorry, this is just so weird for me. It's been such a long time since I've gone down this road. 25th is really close to me because it's right by Target and anywhere that I need to shop for clothing sometimes, but here it's a little bit further out. It is totally different. I mean, this here feels the exact same as when I went there. The community college looks totally different. But, wow.